thanks everyone for your patience. We had a long list of autograph seekers upstairs, but we've got Coach Campbell and Sydney Harris after tonight's game against Kansas. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions in the room.
Well, really proud of the team and the way they competed and fought. We gave ourselves a chance. I think we were up one with about 4 minutes to go, and kind of had that domino where Aaliyah got a rebound and fell, and Una had the ball and bumps into Agnes. Anyways, they get a bucket out of that, and after that, gosh dang, we just couldn't quite get the lead back. But this group could not be more proud. The adversity that we've gone through, trying to learn a new offense, playing small ball, they are fighting and scrapping and giving themselves a chance to win. And same thing at Texas Tech, we were right there. So we're going to just keep working, keep going through the process of trying to get better. And we got to get better defensively. That's the one thing. We got to figure out a way to get some stops. But tonight I'm proud of the group.
On offense, it looks like, did the bye week kind of help to kind of get the offense flowing a little bit better and kind of just understand the motion a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't even know if it's been 2 weeks of them learning a 5-out motion. That doesn't happen in 2 weeks. Normally you get 2 months during October, November to learn something. So it's going to be a work in progress the whole year until you get Sedona and Madison back. It's going to be a great compliment, though. Even when we get those kids back, it's going to be good. So we're still working through the kinks, but they're getting better. They're getting more comfortable. Practice reps, we're able to go 5-on-5 this week. That helps. Offensively, though, we're playing good enough offensively. You got to find a way to survive defensively.
Just how hard is it for a squad to basically just have a 6-man rotation, and especially whenever you're playing with high foul trouble there towards the end?
It's really hard. There's a small margin for error right now for us to win these games. And that's it comes out in many areas. Foul trouble is one of the areas. But this group, they understand it. They are locked in. Truly, I could not be more proud of everything that's unfolded and how they keep showing up at practice, how they are in the locker room. And the reality is, it's we got to play a really good game to get this done.
Sydney, it looked like you stepped into a couple of threes early on, and that got you into a really nice rhythm on the scoring end of things. Now that you've got a few games under your belt off of that ankle injury, just how much more comfortable are you feeling, especially in this new 5-out system?
I'm super comfortable, and I feel like my teammates have been able to find me super easily, and everything's come very easily. Like my shots, like you said, I'm stepping into them, perfect shots, so it's been pretty good.
And Coach, for you, how big of a challenge is it when it feels like in the first half it's officiated a little bit differently than it is in the second half? Only 10 fouls called in the first half and 29 called in the second.
Yeah, first of all, Sid, I want to go back to her in the offense. She is such an elite shooter that this 5-out motion's really good for her. And when you add a Madison Connor, another shooter like that to it, it's gonna be really good. And so there's blessings that are coming from the adversity and trying to figure out a new way to play the game. But Sid was dynamite tonight. And then the foul calls, you guys, I never worry about the refs. I don't even talk to them much during the game. Try to just pour into our team and our kids and worry about things we can control. And so I did think they were pretty consistent. Foul calls, I think it was 20-19 overall. Free throws were in the ballpark. And so we just got to get better defensively. We got to worry about what we can control.
Well, and kind of on that same idea, the rebounding, Kansas rebounded you guys 36-25. I mean, how do you address that discrepancy?
The rebounding, I mean, they have a 6'6" center, WNBA prospect. We don't have a center currently. We got Aaliyah, who's our power forward, and Sydney and Agnes, who are, power forwards and wings. And so they have a big advantage there tonight. And so you got to fight. This is where I'm proud of the team. They're fighting. And they got more rebounds, but it's not because of a lack of effort. we got to fight harder and we got to be even more disciplined. But they're scrapping down there, and so I'm proud of them.
Coach, there was a moment in the fourth when Agnes went down. It looked like a cramp. Did a part of you in the back of your mind kind of go, oh no, here we go again?
No. These kids, our strength coach is awesome. It's just been a bunch of fluky stuff that's happened this year, and you have no control over it. Agnes is as strong of a player that I've ever coached. And she's logging 40 minutes and guarding the other team's best players every night. And so that kid's a soldier. But it's what comes with sports. You lace it up and go compete, and injuries are part of the game. But this group's they're grinding, you guys. They really are. And they're giving themselves a chance to win. We just haven't finished it off.
So what do you tell your team after the game? After you're grinding it and getting closer and closer. So what's actually the message that you tell them in the locker room?
Yeah, well, it's the same message of control what you can. In this process, the outcome, you don't always get rewarded with the outcome you want on the court and in life. I do know the only chance you have to win is you better work your butt off. And you got to show up in practice and keep working your butt off. And you got to keep grinding. And if you don't do that, we have no shot. And to the team's credit, with all the stuff that's gone on, they have put their nose down and worked and been coachable. And we're going to continue to do that. And sometimes you don't get the outcome you want, but it's not because of lack of effort or a lack of trying.
Have you learned anything different from any of the players that you maybe have not have known about them?
No
Bringing them
question.
in?
No question. Our team's growing up. All these kids. Sid missed, 8 weeks, and she's jumping into the mix, and she didn't get, all the reps that other people had, and is figuring stuff out. Vic's a kid that's playing 30 minutes a night as a true freshman, as a point guard. It's hard to be a true freshman point guard in the Big 12. But if you have no other option, figure this out. And Agnes is carrying us as an absolute soldier. Una and Tara, Aaliyah's blossomed. Literally, I think she's leading the league in effective field goal percentage. And so each one of these kids, there is no other option. You got to figure this out now and grow up now, and they're doing that.
Speaking of growing up, can you talk about your point guard, Una? I mean, today, 7 assists, 0 turnovers. Seems like she's really taken that role of being court general and ran with it.
Una right now in the Big 12 has a 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio. I think she's shooting about 45% from the field, 50% from three. Una loves the game of basketball, studies it, works at it. She is all in. And right now, her and Aaliyah are playing efficient, high-level basketball in Big 12 play. But it's part of this growing up phase. This group has been thrust into this situation, and I couldn't be prouder of how they're handling it.
Sydney, for you, what do you feel like you learned throughout this process, just of all these changes and everything going on?
I think I've just learned, like MC said, was to grow up. I mean, I've played like maybe 4 or 5 games in the Big 12. I'm coming from mid-major. I mean, that's both Division I levels, but I mean, the jump is insane. So I mean, I've just learned to get tougher, control what you can. Like, miss a shot, you gotta keep going. I mean, you can't turn your head down, anything. You just have to keep going. And I feel like I've grown in that, maturing, not letting small things affect the entire game. And I feel like that's probably my biggest thing so far.
Adversity of the year aside, Sydney, you made a decision to hit the portal and ultimately to end up here at this moment right now. Hearing your coach talk about you the way that he has, and knowing how your team is battling through all of this, just talk about TCU and your choice to come here, and has that been affirmed at this point?
When I was in the portal, I think my biggest thing was like getting my best ability like out on the floor. So I knew MC would coach me as hard and get me to kind of like get uncomfortable and get out of like what I know what to do. And I feel like I'm not the best defender, and he harps on all the coaches, like just focusing on things that like I need to get better at so that I can continue to grow my game. I think that was kind of like my biggest thing I was looking for was getting better. I wasn't doing that at my previous school, so I knew I needed to find something where I would, and I trusted him. He told me what he did on my visits and my parents, and I trusted him, and it's been going pretty well.
Coach, for you, is a positive coming out of today, 23 assists on 25 made buckets.
Yeah, this group shared the ball all year, and it's a new cast of players, and they're sharing the ball. I think that's something that we recruit to and try to find kids that do that. And so obviously you had Jaden Owens, who was one of the best playmakers in college basketball. But as these guys are getting comfortable, they're learning how to play together as a unit. There's not one kid that's the playmaker that Jaden is, but they are a really skilled offensive group. And they share the ball and they create for each other. And so tonight, I'm so proud. We have been harping on taking care of the ball. And we did that tonight with 11 turnovers. And so there's some other things. You got to rebound, you got to defend, you got to take care of the ball. But tonight, 23 assists on 25 field goal attempts. That's this group. That's what they got to do, and that's what they're going to do. That's who they are. They're a very unselfish group.
Sydney, for you, since Jaden's injury, she's kind of referred to herself as Coach J. How does she help you during a game?
Not just me, everyone. Jaden's always talking. Before she got hurt, now that she's hurt, she's still the same person. She's always telling you, what you need to do, what you can do, things to help you. I mean, she's just a great teammate. I mean, she's a great person. She's just always positive, and she's just telling you, she has the best interest in everybody. So if she sees something, I mean, obviously, like when you're sitting on the sideline, you see things you don't when you're playing the game. And she literally even told me, like, before I had even shot a shot, there was a timeout, and then I sit down, and she's like, you know how to shoot the ball, you need to stop thinking and shoot it. And then I did, I guess. So, she's just always saying things that need to be said, and they're always in a positive way.
Mark, you mentioned earlier, when Sedona and Madison get back, is there a timeline for their return at this point?
No, I've never talked about injuries, but everybody's body's different. They have projections, but we'll walk through that. We have a great medical staff and strength and conditioning, but in theory, they should be back during the regular season. And so those will be great. If we end up getting those back, they'll be great additions. Again, they're going to have to learn the 5-out. Okay? Or do you go back to the 4-out and reteach everybody this season? Holy smokes. But they're on track to get back and be a part of the team and help us before we get to Kansas City. And so that'll be exciting. That's where this process, you guys, this group is, okay, I don't know what the wins and losses will be, and that was when we're healthy. We don't set a number. Max out the talent that this group has, okay? And this team currently is, how do we keep getting better? We know we're going to get some pieces back along this journey, but we got to be a better team than when we lost them, than when they come back. And that's all we can control. And that's where this team has shown a lot of maturity as a group. And I know they want to win. We all want to win. But I guarantee you they'll show up at practice and chip away. And we got Oklahoma on Wednesday, and we got to get better, and we'll prepare. And I know they'll do that. And we're going to be a better basketball team when Madison and Sedona come back. I know that for sure.
Anything else for these two?
Yeah, Sid, you guys have talked about the team has to grow up in a hurry and adjust all these things. Coach talked about being able to practice 5-on-5 and what that means. What have the newcomers brought to you guys to sort of help you get back on, grow up with us?
Well, obviously they've brought bodies, but they bring energy. They just literally got here. I mean, they're like the happiest people ever. I mean, sometimes we're not the most excited to go do a big heavy lift, and they're the ones that are like, yeah, like come on, like happy to be here. But I mean, they work hard. I mean, I think it was like they had tryouts and we had a game coming up. I mean, I saw Ella and Piper. They were in the gym getting shots up, preparing themselves just if they're put in that situation to come in. I mean, which I thought was amazing. I mean, it's good to see that they care and like they're trying to like perfect their game, like if they were put in the position to go into the game. So doing really good.
Sydney, for you, 8 weeks recovering from an ankle injury. Do you kind of feel like you're back to your old self? It looks like you're having fun out there.
Yeah, I would say I am. I think I still need to get in a little bit better shape, but it's coming along. I think I am playing very confident. My teammates are always, hyping me up too, so, that always feels great. The coaching staff is always telling me do what you can, do what you do and everything. So I've been very confident. It's been awesome to be back.
What does it say about the culture of this place that in a season like this one, the conversations have always been positive and hopeful and kind of team focused on the journey and on the work?
I mean, you can't. If we were acting upset and angry and mad about everything, I mean, we wouldn't even be. We'd probably be getting blown out. I mean, we have to stay positive and control what we can, play together, and that's what we've been doing. And I think you can just tell, in 3 games, we've progressed so much, and we're gonna keep getting better.
Do you think this, in some way, that this kind of adversity that y'all face this year will serve you well going forward as you continue your college career?
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, transferring in, I would have never thought, we'd miss games, only have 4 people, whatever it was. But I think it would build anybody. I mean, it shows you, like MC always says, who the soldiers are, who's going to fight when things get hard. And I think this is just given us an opportunity to fight even harder.
And does it kind of give you a new appreciation for the game as well?
Yeah, definitely. It does.
Yeah, no question. I think one thing, staff, coaches, you just, it's fragile. A season's fragile. Being healthy. And so just taking advantage of the opportunity that these guys have. We put up on the board today, there's only 9 games left. You're halfway through league, to really cherish and value the opportunity to compete and play together and go out there. Because it is, you don't know when it can be taken away. And I think everybody within our program has learned that lesson this year.
How proud of you as a coach? I know you mentioned this a little bit, but you come out of this stretch after the game's canceled. You win against UCF. You battle Tech to the very end, and you battle Kansas to the very end. That they haven't laid down.
Yeah, I'm as proud of this group. When we started 14-0, and what's happened since the injuries, equal amount of proudness for this team. You're trying to squeeze all the talent out of whatever group you have, and that start, which was historic. We had top 20 talent, and that was special. This group, since all this stuff's unfolded, we're 1 and 2. They are maxing out what they're doing, and that's all you can ask. And so we're going to continue, and there's a ceiling. I know we're going to keep getting better because we're just figuring this stuff out. But this group's special DNA, the locker room special, the leadership on the team special. To manage all of this and keep fighting the way they are, it's a special group of people.
Yeah, and Sydney, last for me, the way this national story has been, it's been about the walk-ons and all that, and that it's kind of seemed like a team of walk-ons. Do you take that kind of person? You want to go out and hey, I'm a D1 player. We still have a ton of D1 talent here.
Yeah, I think people know that. I think it's just, it was a big deal. You don't see it every day, so I think that's kind of what it is. But and I don't think anybody else on the team is kind of taking it like that. But yeah, we have plenty of talent on this team. And walk-ons, you can call them walk-ons, but they have their talent too. So.